So what we're trying to show here is how to load the trailer safely, so you can transport it safely. You got the front and the back. You can put the shingles right there in the opening of the front. Just kind of tucks them away. You don't have to worry about loading them other way. Also, as you're loading this, it's the way you need to unload it, so you can work off the trailer. So we got the sidewalls then stacked on top. Both of those. On top of that will be the floor. And then on that space that's left, just naturally put the sheeting, so there's all the roof sheeting and both doors stacked up like that. Everything can be strapped down nicely. The floors then go on the very top. You put the trusses up, and then all of the dimensional lumber that's loose, you'll put that alongside each side, and it will allow you to run straps through each of the truss openings, so that that will secure that down, and of course all the walls and everything underneath it. And then we usually put 2 straps on over the sheeting part, so one directly over the sheeting and then one over the doors, and then it is really tight. You can travel on the interstate, and then, like I said, as you get to the site, as you unload that, it is unloading as you need it, so you can do that efficiently.
What you want to do to get started on the wall is to make sure you got everything lined up with your lines that we chalked, but to make sure that this front edge is even with this front edge and not back with the sheeting. If it's too far back, your back side, when it goes up, it won't fit. So we want to make sure that the front looks really nice, so we're just going to make sure that this is lined up perfectly. All right, to nail the wall in place, what we're going to do is make sure that the wall is brought to the line. You can have somebody on the outside pushing, or you can smack it. But at each of these studs, you're going to put a nail aimed down at a 45, and that puts it right into the floor joist. So, go ahead.
So as you're nailing this part, you want to make sure that nailer is straight up and down, just like he's doing. If you are tilted down too far, it makes the nail go out the outside of the wall, and can impact the person that's holding that or pushing it in place. So you want to be very careful of keeping that straight up and down.
All right, we're going to be setting the back wall. What you want to do is make sure that this is nice and tight inside the corner, and pushed in all the way up against. As you can see, there's a little bit of a gap on the blue line, which is fine. Our sidewall actually sticks out back. What we want to do is match our far side over here, make it match that distance, and then everything will look square. Good? Good. All right, the next thing we want to do is make sure that the top is nice and tight. So we'll have somebody on the outside pushing in and making sure that that's nice and tight. We'll do the same thing in the middle. So I'm going to push together, and then you can nail. All right, go ahead. Put a couple right there. We're going to put a couple nails in, then we're going to move down to the middle. So I'm going to push and give you a holler. Okay. All right, go ahead and nail all the way up and down that. To set the front wall in, it's easiest just to pick it up, put the bottom in first, and then slide the top up. Ready? Now we're going to cut this piece out. So Only place you're going to be able to nail is right inside on the bottom plate and inside of these stud walls. So if you have the time and you have these things in place, setting up a couple of ladders and a walking board in between will speed up putting on the top plate, putting on the rafters, and getting started with the roof sheeting. You can move independently down this thing without having to get down and move your ladder each time. So I've got these in my tool trailer. I've got one set up on this side, one set up on the other side. What you want to make sure is that the A-frame is set up with your plank and not the opposite way. Otherwise, you could tip it over. So as we get the walls up, we want to make sure and put the double top plate on. This attaches the short wall to the long wall with this piece here. So it overlaps, nails everything together. You want to make sure that this stays flush, not with the siding, but with the 2x on the inside. So flush there and on the front. It's a pre-cut 8-footer, so you don't have to do anything to it. Just line it up and nail it. And then these 12-footers are cut inside of that. They should be 137, but it doesn't hurt to go ahead and measure that and make sure you get it nice and tight. So everything